what is some of the areas of inquiry that someone can start to look into when they're experiencing chronic health issues? Let's use depression example. When someone's feeling really depressed, what should they look at in order to improve that?
Yeah, one analogy that I like, because I've experienced depression, and I know many people who have, and have worked with many clients who have. We could see what the word depressed kind of speaks to: deep rest. And I see depressed, which is deep rest, as the end of the line of a body that has either been revving quite hard for a long period of time, or it's a body that has accelerated so rapidly that the handbrake has just exploded on. So for chronic dis-ease, in functional medicine, they talk about chronic disease, 80% of it being able to be eliminated through modifiable lifestyle factors. And what is one of those massive modifiable lifestyle factors? Living with stress. Like, I see one of the biggest drivers of chronic dis-ease is that our bodies are stuck with the accelerator on. The brake rarely comes on. And when people go, he's depressed, the handbrake has come on because the body in its innate wisdom has tried to desperately shut the system down.
And what about anxiety?
So anxiety is an interesting one. I see it as multifactorial, particularly with three main foundational lenses to see it through. So the first one is the psychological system. That's how the brain works. That's how the different compartments of the brain create life. And that's where a bit of cognitive stuff can be helpful to understand, because what I've seen is that we learn stuff from parents and their parents and people around us. And we learn things such as unrealistic expectations. We learn things such as seeing threat where there is none. We learn things such as a leaning towards perfectionism where it may not be appropriate. So there are some patterns of cognitive perceptions that can drive anxiety. So it's important to look at re-educating around cognitive understanding. And then the biological system is, how do we support the body to get into a state of peace, into a state of well-being, and into a state of recovery? And then the third fundamental is, how are we doing life? I find that, when clients come, there's no schedule. It's just rushing from thing to thing. We're overstimulated. I see that a big driver of anxiety is overstimulation. Zings, dings, bings from phones, technology, etc. And the demands that we naturally place on ourselves nowadays, to the amount of well-being that we're putting in, it's exceeding our capacity. And the flashing red light on the dash is anxiety.